and welcome to today's Media Roundtable. I hope you are ready to dive into a topic we are so passionate about at Breitling, our mission to do better, which begins with the Super Chronomat Origins.
Let me start with Diana Kalilas, who is Secretary General with the Swiss Better Gold Association. Now, this organization establishes traceable supply chains from artisanal and small-scale mines right through the supply chain to final products made in Switzerland. Next along, we have Stanley Mathurin. Stanley is the Executive Vice President at the SCS Global Services. SCS is an international leader in third-party certification for sustainability and quality performance. Next along, we have Sean Tynan. Sean is the Vice President of Partnerships at SourceMap. Now, SourceMap provides supply chain mapping and third-party validation, and that brings transparency and ease of understanding, which is critical, to these very complex supply systems. SourceMap is a recognized authority in its field. A pleasure to have you with us, Sean. Let's talk about the materials. There's several materials on this watch. What makes them better, in quotes?
Being able to know where the gold and the diamonds are coming from. We really viewed that as the baseline in order to be able to develop our supplier relationships and really engage directly with our gold and diamond suppliers to assess their performance. That's what we set out to do, create a product that took away the unknowns and ensured that we did things better for people, better for the planet, in the end, better for our product. And we've been able to achieve this mission with our partners who are working really hard and really recognized experts in their fields today to develop global frameworks for traceability and transparency.
Let's talk about the Swiss Better Gold Association.
It was set up in 2012-13 when we looked into the different supply chains and how the watch industry is functioning, and we discovered all the possible sources of gold, so large scale, small scale, artisanal, recycled, and then you look into it and you see the social and environmental impact within the artisanal and small scale gold mining, and you say, well, we can't tolerate this, we have to do something about it, we have to do something in order to improve the working and living conditions of these 20 million people. There are 20 million people employed in artisanal and small-scale gold mining. This represents 80% of the mining workforce. Artisanal and small-scale miner is usually defined by the level of mechanization, the size of the concession, the number of employees. So these are, I would say, in one word, small and medium enterprises. It's a lot of workforce, but little mechanization usually. So individually they produce 2, 3, 5, 10 kilos. So these are really small organizations. It can be a cooperative, it can be other sort of setup. And what we do is that within the Swiss Better Gold, the initiative is trying to do is to accompany these small producers in order to become eligible to the ESG expectations of the market. But it's a partnership. It's about building sustainable supply chains. There is some activity to be taken on the ground in order to these improvements to happen. So, and this is what the Swiss Better Gold teams are doing in Colombia, Peru, Brazil, Bolivia.
Let's hear a little bit more about what SourceMap is and how that works.
So what SourceMap does is we independently verify supply chains of our partners to trace the finished product down to the origins, down to the mine, down to the lab. We partner with the gold producers, we partner with the diamond labs, we partner with all the other parts of the product to build literal maps of the supply chain for our partners. And they use those maps for a couple reasons. One, they provide it to their end consumers to say, we've made sustainability commitments, you can see where your product's coming from. It's actually groundbreaking for a luxury brand like Breitling to do that, because historically, their supply chains were trade secrets. Whether it's gold, diamonds, cocoa, coffee, wool, you name it, we can trace it down to the origin. And so the tail wags the dog for us, meaning we find a partner that says, it is part of our mission, it's part of our brand, it's part of our values to be sustainable. We know that to be sustainable, we have to verify everyone in our supply chain.
when you take diamonds, it's a complex product that has supply chain issues, that has environmental issues, and our goal is to set standards in sustainability. And we embarked on a 2.5-year process to say, what are the key issues in the diamond sector that could be lab, mined, whatever may be the case, but you have to deal with it from the source to the consumer. The issues are different within a supply chain, the issues are different at the source. So one of the key things we said was we have to solve the issue of traceability. And the issue of traceability is very important in diamonds, and we said not just by saying there's a difference between provenance and origin. So what we said, we have to deal with origin. How do we accomplish that? And we partnered with a lab in Australia who has a patented technology for actually analyzing, physically analyzing, taking physical samples of the diamonds and creating a chemical DNA fingerprint. This was absolutely groundbreaking. What we do now is we attach a certificate of sustainability to every diamond, very much like a grading certificate. That certificate of sustainability will transparently disclose everything about that diamond. It's a product certification. So it's like a nutritional label. Transparency is a big deal, but transparency, beyond transparency, is the independent verification of that transparency is also a very key factor for the consumer. The consumer is looking for who verified it. Is it independently verified, or is it just someone making a claim for themselves? So it is very game-changing in how this is happening.
Does anyone have any questions?
The question is, do the new in-house grown diamonds ensure the same mechanical properties as the ordinary ones, such as the biggest hardness, for example? Thank you.
Yes, they do, and they're subject to exactly the same quality testing that mined diamonds have been subjected to all along.
They're identical to mined diamond. There are no differences, because that was why the FTC in the United States ruled to say you no longer need to call them synthetic, because they are identical to a mined diamond.
Is there any quality difference in lab-grown diamonds?
So the difference between lab-grown and mined diamonds is actually that the quality in lab-grown diamonds is so much higher. So all of the diamonds in our watches are developed using the chemical vapor deposition, or CVD method. They're all type 2A. So 2 to 4% of diamonds worldwide achieve this standard. And basically you can tell a lab-grown diamond apart from a mined diamond because of its quality, because of its inherent quality. So yes, there is a quality difference.
So we are better.
I meant,
quality is better.
I meant the quality difference between lab-grown diamonds,
Yeah.
not between lab-grown.
Oh yes, there's a big difference between lab-grown diamonds. And I think I was mentioning earlier, in response to the question about what about the supply on the market, there's a huge glut of supply for low-grade lab-grown diamonds available right now.
So what's the lower quality then? If the color is artificial and there's no inclusions, what is the lesser quality?
It would be the growing methods that are used that lead to a lower quality, maybe growing faster than you should, or using different methods that are maybe more efficient in the short term, but that result in a lower quality product.
And how does it show?
In terms of the 4 Cs, this would come across.
Are they doing certifications for lab-grown diamonds? Please, here.
Yep, we send every lot that we receive to be tested. Full stop. So, and we
You
wait.
send them to GIA?
No, we send them to a local lab in Switzerland that's specialized in diamond testing. Every single lot we get is sent. And what we ask them is the following: what is the results on the 4 Cs? What is is this the CVD method? Which the answer needs to be yes, it is.
You're able to measure their carbon footprint compared to extracted diamonds.
All of our producers are required to be climate neutral, period. Because you have to negate your footprint. And what we have is several of our producers are not only just negating the footprint, and the standard here, what we've established is very stringent. When I said they have to look at their legacy too. Not only are we telling them that you have to offset your footprint today, what was your footprint for the last 3 to 4 years? We mandate them to offset that too. So essentially they're offsetting their footprint 5x, 6x, 8x times. So they're going way above and beyond.
In fact, we use the Breitling Carbon Fund, so we have a shadow price on carbon, and we use that to support carbon insetting along our value chain. So carbon insetting basically means that you co-finance projects to reduce your climate impact along the value chain at your suppliers. So we're co-financing solar PV installations in India, at one of our growers. We've co-financed the replacement of power grid lines in Colombia at the mine from which we've sourced the gold for the Origins watch. So we work with our suppliers and support them then in their transition as well to renewable energy. And we support them on carbon accounting and a range of other measures too.